think myself personally, I may be leaning a little bit more towards Kit SC. I really do think that Matei yesterday was reading the game incredibly well. Pad's a good put-away shooter when you got her in position. And Loris Raptor, again, I was really impressed with his positioning and his timing. And that level of consistency, I think, from those three players that I got yesterday is enough to put them slightly in the lead for me, at least.
And Ty Laxo mentioning the Salford not playing on the main stage yesterday and how that might factor in to this, where if they can't get this first win, that loss might feel a little too bad. And I think we've seen emotions very high this weekend so far. We've seen teams gutted after really close defeats and close games that go to Game 5. We talk so much about the mental game in Rocket League and how important it is, and we see those emotions on these collegiate players. It absolutely is a factor in this matchup.
Currently, first minute, thankfully nothing too devastating mentally either way for either side. But definitely Kit SC, the ones pressing a little more dangerously towards the orange half. Drop down in front, nice clear from Arton. This really is just kind of the poke and prod and see what you're getting from the defense. A little float towards the back post, denied by Matei as well.
Salford do get to the blue half, and they've got the midfield for now. It's all about keeping that pressure up and actually getting to that 50. That touch by Loris Raptor is going to force Salford to rethink how to move back down the field. The corner proving a little difficult as Loris Raptor and company move. Good work by Salford, not allowing that pressure in front of the box and able to fight back to midfield.
Ooh, nice little fake. The bump actually almost backfiring. Pads, thankfully, paying attention on the goal line. A scary one at best. You were worried about that bump giving the extra power needed to actually slip by the defense.
Salford starting to get control of the ball here. 50s good enough for Kit, but again, the follow-up's just a little slow. But we know that Kit, they love to play that stingy defense. That's part of what got them so far against St. Clair earlier in the tournament. But this one dangerous, and he just got there floating right above the ground and had his flip probably at the last second.
My goodness, Pads, the pre-jump, realizing you jumped too early, throw the flip out, still get the save. That was a bonkers one.
Pads has had a great tournament so far. She was striking well in St. Clair when a lot of the talk has been about her defense, and there it was on showcase.
For sure. Impressive performance from all three players, really, on Kit SC defensively. And it's good to see Salford start to settle in here a little more. Now they're getting their own chances over on the blue half, really putting Kit through their paces.
Well, that's a good 50 off the bar, but again, that pressure. Kit not trying to push the mold too far. The double clean off the post and into the net. Nice shot by Loris Raptor.
And a little worried that it might skip off the post and get away from him. Thankfully, just able to reach it. Cood, tough stretch. I think it was probably expecting a touch from Loris Raptor. May have been playing a block instead of really trying to go and get up to the ball because he probably wasn't sure he could make it in time. Either way, comes up empty. Kit SC out in front in game one. Jiggy with a chance to equalize and not enough boost to get above the ball.
What a response that would have been. Hit him with the double tap right back, but Arton behind the ball. Pre-flipped into it, just couldn't make contact and ended up air rolling off. You gotta take those chances against Kit. You give them confidence on their defensive rotations. We see even with low boost, they're still gonna make those saves. That shot though right in to the defender. Matei taking that one out. Loris Raptor finally getting the clear.
Really solid boost control in the midfield for Salford. Unfortunately, that missed touch has given a lot of extra time and space to Kit here in the midfield. Loris Raptor uncontested towards the wall, and that will be an easy save for Salford, but time a factor.
Oh, decent touch. Taken away, all three players in the net. Loris Raptor gets that one back around. Shot is on target for Matei. 2-0 Kit.
I think they came out of the goal and just punched the last goal line player. I think, it was Jiggy in that corner. Just got bashed out of the way by Loris Raptor. Matei, I think, was definitely focused on making sure that one just got under the post.
Loved the energy from Pads. She was laughing. Like, that was great play. I love the vibes on Kit right now.
Pads opened up a big equalizer with the demo yesterday as well.
Really worked to their favor. There's another demo, but wasn't the lead guy on the offense. Matei gets bumped out of the way. And oh my goodness. From there in front of the box, and the ball goes nowhere.
Kit SC just making sure they don't get in each other's way. want to make an errant touch.
Yeah.
Allow Salford to get back into this game. 45 seconds, not a lot of time, but certainly enough to score 2 if you give one up for free.
Ooh. Good read off the backboard to get that save. Can't get that clear out. Still a little time for Salford if they can get one on this push. No boost though. Taken away again.
Oh, what a bump.
It's going to be pushed out. Arden up for the defense, back into the corner. That's wasting a lot of time in game 1. Very clean game 1 from Kit. They drop it down around, wasting more time on the clock. Salford didn't look bad beyond the midfield line when they did get to the blue half. Just had issues generating consistent pressure.
Yeah, that's, I think, the good way to describe it, generating consistent pressure. They had a couple of really nice pushes over across, and also not really able to create the openings that they need against a team like Kit. So very consistent game 1, I would say, for Kit. Not having to do too much, definitely just taking what the defense gives them back on the other side. Picked apart a couple of missed challenges and had to execute, get them under the crossbar or inside the post. And Kit SC, a well-deserved game 1. Just keep within yourselves. You really didn't have to press too hard. It was all on Salford to make something happen there, and just didn't have an answer for a consistent defense.
I think Salford, it is just a matter of that one opportunity. That one is a more on target. If it's not
Like
right into
one.
the defender,
Oh.
yeah, exactly. Pads shutting down on defense there. Loris Raptor hitting a nice double tap, but there were also a couple other shots for Salford that were right into blue defenders, and it was hard to really force that game against Kit on defense.
How many shots did they get? 5, 7, 9 shots
9
for Salford, so definitely no shortage of shots on target. Really just a matter of do they actually break through.
Yeah.
And I think going into game 2, trying to wonder if you really need to change the approach. Like, obviously there's concerns about the consistency and the time of total offense spent over on the blue half. You can be in possession of the ball, but not necessarily pressuring the net.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's necessarily something they need to be concerned about. 9 shots is no small number. It's obvious that you're getting shots on target. It could just be about setting up quality opportunities, making sure you're getting better touches towards the middle. I don't know if Kid SC, obviously you don't have to change much. You won the game.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, everything worked out. Loris
already know
Raptor
the
gets
defense is
a
solid.
clutch double touch, and
Yeah.
then you just clutch up on defense. I mean, that's worked out for Kit. And it's kind of incredible how they've played so far this weekend. It can be very easy to just tilt yourself out after getting reverse swept.
Well, you saw the, well, yeah, specifically getting reverse swept like
Yeah.
they did yesterday, but you've seen the effects of tilt in that Oakland match as well
Yes.
against Berlin. Started to get a little frustrated and just collapsed at the end there, so tilt definitely a factor.
I think watching Salford on their rotations, even saw in that last play, a little jumpy, trying to anticipate those quick clears coming out from Kit. Getting pushed up, still more pressure, just keeping it around, getting off the backboard, and that would have been an insane turnaround on an attempted dish, but no contact, and Loris Raptor getting kicked out of the way. Recovers well enough as the follow-up's pretty
Nice.
slow from Salford. Winning the 50, missing it,
Whoa.
and Jiggy getting the goal.
Even Pads is confused down there in the corner. She's like, how did I miss that? I don't understand.
Goes up and whoop.
Oh, unlucky.
We've all been there. Pat.
You hate to see it. Every now and again, one slips through. And Salford more than happy to take their opening goal and capitalize off any mistake your opponents will give you.
It doesn't really matter the quality of the goal or the type of goal that goes in. The goal always feels good regardless. It's good for Salford getting on the board, and maybe they can generate a little bit more here as Jiggy pushes the ball to the corner. It's a boost steal for his effort, but a nice slowdown here by Matei. That's
Oh,
going to stop
little
right in
fake.
front. Massive fake. And tried to drop the ball in front, but it skipped off of his hood. Couldn't get the low 50.
Good idea. I think Salford really struggling to figure out how to approach Matei, but they catch everyone too far forward in the midfield. Jiggy on a Sunday stroll into the blue net.
Oh, Pads got caught. Optimistic positioning, expecting that 50 to go one way. That's how you get bitten. And Salford took full advantage.
That's all right. You got a lot of time to work with here for your Kid SC, but now the situation pretty much exactly reversed. You got a lot of time to work with at least, but you do have to press. You do have to take chances. You got to make something happen. Salford really don't have to push here at all because Kid SC, yes, they have got a really strong player in Matei. Loris Raptors had good follow-ups, but in terms of generating chances towards the middle, it's kind of just been a product of we're in the right spot and we've boost-starved them or something. It's not like it's been, yeah, we're breaking you down consistently with mechanics.
Yeah, I mean, I think you see that, especially because Salford just sometimes just pull off midfield. and then Kit get a free ball in the corner. And what a shot from Loris Raptor. Fist bumps around for that one.
Definitely not mechanics based here. It's just a nice challenge. Matei noticing the space behind Jiggy. Don't try and force it towards the backboard where you're probably not going to have the time to close the distance for a double tap. Or if you dish it out to the corner for yourself, you're going to buy time for the defensive Salford to reset. Just take what the space you're given is, throw it out to the corner, let him try and put a shot on target. Woo! Oh my goodness, Matei. I wanted it for you.
Oh, that would have been so nasty. I like the attempted pass here to Loris Raptor, who starting to heat up, and I think his teammates know it. They start feeding him, and that one ripped wide. Now Salford might have a chance again. You see Kit SC trying to hit that next gear. Got the boost and got the 50, but that's going to force them back to the corner.
Really like pads, turning the car upside down, jumping towards the floor to reset faster. Make sure you can get to that challenge. Dump towards the back post. They catch Loris Raptor headed out of the net. Cood will collect another one.
Oh, this is the difficulty on these defensive rotations. You see Loris Raptor coming up. I don't know if he could have avoided that, maybe hit the brakes instead, but he definitely had to avoid the demo, forced him to go near side of the post.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get around that demo and make sure that they'll try and have an opportunity on defense. So really nice positioning there from Salford.
Good to stop the momentum for Kit. Well, look at the drop, an attempted fake, but Matei not going to be fooled, trying to box out Salford in the corner. Tactical whiff maybe, but it didn't work out. And another shot denied off the board. Salford trying to hang on, but Kit not done yet. They've regained some of that control. A couple of shots now, maybe another one as Pat squares up. She gets deleted on the play. Loris Raptor flinging one up to the board. Matei's going to get back to this. No boost, though. Gets around one defender. Salford taking their time, recognizing the space. Nice from Jiggy. Now they're starting to lose those 50s in midfield.
Ooh, Matei, got to be careful here. You got a lot of boost, but it's all about positioning, and indeed, that's the right move for Martin. Just chuck it down the other side. You need to clear the space. You need to buy the extra toe. Oh, no!
Oh, jeez, I know. You're gutted, man. You want to see them get the touch, but this one sails right by him. See you later. Unfortunate. It's not the worst position to be in because you get that touch and you look like a genius.
And that's what makes me so sad, because I liked the long clear. You need to, it's okay. You're down under a minute and a half. Chuck the ball to the other end. Make him waste time bringing it up back the other way. It's going to cost a lot of time and resources to consistently break you down, and then you just get a punch from the opposing box and it gets through everybody, and it's just like, that one hurts. Dumped towards Matei, who's going for bumps in the net. And Kid SC still in this one, surprisingly.
You can't let it affect you for Salford. You still got the lead. There's less than a minute. While Kid SC have been on the push here for about 10, 15 seconds. A big clear from Salford is going to give them some time to breathe a little bit. They were working on that small pad game for a while. Now, re-kitted on the boost, and now going to dive for the stop. Forced double commit, but a slow follow-up. Pass to Loris Raptor, denied. This time getting in front of the pass.
Really great understanding there from the Salford defense, and that pass a little too far away. Arden able to cut it down. Tay has been trying to get tricky with his approaches off the ground game with Salford. See if anybody on Kid SC can find a way through this midfield line.
Stopped again by Arden. What do they got from the midfield line? Loris Raptor dives forward. This is another chance for Matei. Flings it over. Loris Raptor's there. Back over to the corner. It's going to be difficult to work from here, but Arden's only got 20. No chance for him off the board. And coming down back is Cood and cleared out.
Back there.
And Salford, Matei's got the catch.
No boost, though. It didn't spawn.
Still got the 50, though. Still in play for Loris Raptor, looking for pads, and unfortunately couldn't get there. Salford tying up the series.
Well done, Salford. Couple of really nice goals here in game two. Kid SC trying to work their way back. Some cheeky goals of their own, one way or the other, but a nice early lead for Salford. Too much to overcome. Really liked, especially towards the end of that game, Salford understanding those passing lanes that Kid SC trying to utilize, getting out very proactive defense in front of their own net, stop some more dangerous shots on target. Salford tie up the series.
And I think for Salford, I don't know if you can rely on those Kit mistakes again. That first one there, the miss from pads kind of set the tone of game number two. So if Kit can be clean on that, I mean, their passing has been great. And you're right about Salford. They did adjust. But I am worried about their ability to generate offense on their own without that Kit defense crumbling.
Well, they did have that one nice one where they did force the player to move all the way towards the near post with the demo, and it's just the product. You finally get somebody out in front of the ball with possession, and that's a tough thing to accomplish. It seems so easy to say, yeah, just get in front of the ball and get a demo, but it's never that easy.
No.
You're taking a big risk whenever you make an attempt like that, because if you lose the challenge behind you as you're going for the demo, your team's going to be in a pretty rough shape heading back on defense. So it's really a risk-reward based strategy, and Salford, right place, right time, able to execute it well, secure a Game 2 win.
It's a chance to build on the success of Game 2 and start to drive this nail into the board of Kit SC's half. Here they come off the corner. That's a good pass to Arton. Good challenge in front for Kit. Now, how do they handle this pressure in front? That's a good touch. You see, and that third man kind of rotating where they expect that touch to come, but those extra touches tripping up the defense a little bit. Mate avoiding a demo and getting that 50, buying a little bit of time for pads in the corner.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
It's essentially just a dead ball. I don't think either team has enough people in position.
Very willing to pull off beyond the midfield line, but I do feel like there's room for either team to play a closer second man, because the ball is kind of just jarring loose on some of these plays, and I feel like if second man just takes a option coverage position instead of optimistic or even pessimistic, then they're going to find more opportunities in that midfield, because the ball is kind of hanging by itself for a while on both halves.
Just more options in general.
Yeah.
Would put a lot of pressure if you don't go for the pessimistic approach and play a little more conservatively and defensively, because if you lose that challenge, you're going to put a lot of pressure. Like on pads right here, you got to come up with a touch. Arton will square it up and go to the back post for number 1.
Most times the back wall has actually been clean defensively for Kit, but pads, that's another miss for her. First one in front of the box earlier, but wasn't really on the backboard in the first game. It was on the ceiling. This time, getting by her, and Salford will absolutely take it.
I think
My
there
goodness.
is. Finally,
they missed the ball and hit each other.
But finally, I do think you're making a good point, though. There is a lot of value. You should be able to have faith in anybody on your back line if you're going to be willing to kind of take this middle-of-the-road approach for either team in terms of that support player, because option coverage may prove quite beneficial. As there you see pads, that's the optimistic position. You're thinking that one's going to go forward and you're going to be right behind it to follow it up in the corner, put the pressure on, and lose that challenge, you waste valuable time.
That's a good tee up here for Loris Raptor. Back over to the side. And I think for Kit, at least specifically with Kit, when they get the boost, they do start to get more aggressive. You see them start pushing above the midfield line. So I think it's just about being comfortable in that situation. But you can even be aggressive in the opponent's half, even if you're sitting on 50 or lower boost as a squad. It's just about that positioning and, like we've been saying, that option coverage. Loris Raptor missed touch, and they're going to get punished. Jiggy puts it in.
Little misplay from Kit SC in the corner. Mate dumping it off to Loris Raptor. Doesn't take the best line up the wall. Of course, it's all about how you read it, and Pad's thinking that one's going forward. And to be honest, it should. Optimistic positioning there is what needs to happen, and it's all about how you handle it if you're Loris Raptor. Just a slight misplay and cost Kit SC big time.
Kit now having struggles being consistent on defense. We watched them against St. Clair. We saw nearly that amount of positioning punishment, if you will. There was a little bit of it, but it seems to be in greater effect today for the team. After that game 1, they just haven't really been able to find that consistency. Speed and shot is good for Loris Raptor, finally getting them on the board.
I really like the speed from Pads just to commit up the wall for that one, because it kind of keeps everybody's eyes glued on him. And Loris Raptor just going to jump from the midfield, and as that ball's coming out the side, if you're the defense, you're still looking at Pads heading up the wall trying to calculate, okay, can she actually reach it? And then you just get the ball put back over your shoulder and top of the net.
Game 3 tells a lot how Game 2 has so far. History repeats itself. This might be a Salford goal coming, but good clear for Loris Raptor.
Is that just
Speedy
open?
Ball and maybe a shot. Yes, it is, and a save. Rebound isn't going to come. There it is. Pass the shot tonight again. 2 goal line stops as another one sends up against the bar and taken away again. Speedy defense for Salford.
Kind of wonder if there was actually a scoreable shot there for Kit SC. You feel like there definitely was, but you never know. It could have all just come down to placement, and Salford made the big save. Minute 30 though, that one does stick in your head if you're Kid SC, especially if you end up going down 2-1 in the series here on elimination day.
Oh, if Jiggy times that a little better.
Oh,
he gets that on the nose. Hang on a second. Mate's got it.
Oh, he missed
it. Oh, he beamed it. Oh, that one hurts if you're Mate.
He's been so consistent all weekend long, and dish out to the middle and saved by Jiggy. Kid SC catch a break in their own terms, back on defense. So as far as you're concerned, it's all evened out.
Yeah, you got it. You got it back. No curse. But you got to get this ball out of your half now. Pads went for the soft touch, tried to get it over to Mate, but wasn't enough power. And now Salford draw right through them. Cood puts it in, and Salford up 3-1.
I think Cood pulled the string on Loris Raptor here, up, and then saw Loris Raptor go a little too high, rotated all the way under, and frustrating challenge to miss. If you're Loris Raptor, it's so easy to get worried about that air dribble being powered into the top of your net, and the line you take to that challenge is the most important thing. If you give up too much space, too high or too low, you do get punished no matter what. It's all about the quality of that first touch control from Salford that gives them those options and makes that approach so dangerous.
Ball rolling through pads in the midfield. It's actually a decent touch out to her teammates. And another one bounced her off the ramp, but Salford got control of midfield. Martin was looking for the reset. That one on the board, maybe a shot, but they're gonna wait for Kit to clear it right back to them. They're starting to get low on boost. Loris Raptor did just pick up a canister, but Pads and Mate on the small pad game. Kit having no struggles, big clear. Goal with time left might give them hope here in game 3.
Missed as well. It should be the end of game 3, unfortunately. Kid SC, few struggles here and there, misplays generally, costing them some big goals back the other way, and Salford more than happy to capitalize on 1 or 2 more mistakes.
It literally played out the exact same way.
Yeah.
You had Pads whip in front of the box, and then you had another mistake of mispositioning, and then the third goal was a good play by Salford. Literally the exact same sequence of events that we had in game 2, and that's gotta be rough. If you're Kid SC, you know that you've had the pushes, you've had the ability to go forward. I do think they're a little too risk heavy. I feel like they take a lot of risks with their passes. They haven't really adapted to Salford in that respect, for my mark, from what I've seen.
Do like Salford's defense in general. That was the big one there. And it's still not quite sure if Pads could have placed it anywhere else in the net. You'd like to think so, but it doesn't matter. Cood, the one to put it on ice. And still, 9 shots per game on average for Salford. Definitely out-pressuring. Kid SC struggling to maintain some pressure throughout the midfield, but you did make a good point when they do get that boost, especially if they're out there in the corners of Salford. Kid SC is doing a very nice job in general of applying extended stays of pressure over on that orange side, but that has been happening fewer and fewer times as the series has gone on, and that could just be the challenge game equalizing a little bit in Salford's favor.
And for Salford, you can feel the confidence building. Game 1 comes out, and you don't really see you don't see heavy mechanical play, but then by midway through that game 3, Jiggy's going for a flip reset. Arden's trying to go for a pre-flip double tap. They're starting to get more confidence in their ability to get by Kit SC on these breakaways. Well, if Kit can find a way to start this out, I think it's about setting the tone for Kit. They cannot let a mistake be the first goal that goes in for Salford. They either, 1 or 2 scenarios for my mark.
Some miscommunication early on from Kid SC, I think, if they were trying to figure out what they were going to do.
Yeah, I think we're gonna.
So I think we're probably going to take a pause here. Everyone just holding up for a moment.
Everyone's experienced that one. Doesn't feel good, and getting pulled back and forth.
That was weird. I don't even know what was happening there. I've never seen that.
It looked like the server just wanted to yeet Cood off the stadium. Just like, oh, you want to take that challenge? Nah, out of here.
That was awkward. Definitely going to have a bit of a reset, but that's okay. We'll figure that one. I would imagine, probably just start over at 5 minutes, 0-0.
Yeah, nothing really happens. So I imagine that's what we're going to get.
Can't really see any reason to do anything else, but
we're not
keep
the
you
admins.
posted. That's true. That's not my job.
They make the correct decisions. We just speculate because we can.
Yeah, reading the rules is hard for me, so we are going to read.
They told me to read the manual, and then I threw it away.
I just accepted the terms and conditions to be on this show.
Everyone checks the box. No one scrolls. Let's be honest. Crowd out there watching this EU versus EU match. Heard them get loud a couple times for an attempt, and love the crowd we have for Rocket League events. It's always fun, especially for a lot of the fans out there that maybe they aren't really cheering for a specific team, but you will hear the whole crowd go, whoa, when something crazy happens. It's just the fun part of Rocket League.
We have had a very spirited section of people from our first day. Felt like there were only a couple people out here yesterday morning early on, but it was still, I think, loud enough to get picked up by Stumpy. So if you guys want to figure out some goofy chant just for him, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Maybe we can lead them later, but we want to give Stumpy a nice warm welcome later. Either way, Salford.
Yeah, he has to watch CRL now.
Back to Salford Kit SC. I mean,
it's just been the.
I just think Kit have to settle down a little bit. I think they're trying to push too far up, too much of the time, because it really is the positioning that I think they're getting burned on most of the time. Besides that whiff right there, the rest of it's positioning.
My biggest selling point for me was the consistency from Kit SC yesterday, and it hasn't quite been there today. And that's really where I'm a little bit surprised, because usually you would expect a team's first game in a live environment to kind of be their shakiest, like you saw with St. Clair.
Yeah.
Like their first 2 games in that series against Kit SC were real scrappy. It took them a little bit to really settle in, and I kind of thought since Kit SC went out there yesterday and looked real rock solid in their first series, it's like, okay, I don't expect them to really do anything different here, but a couple of whiffs, not quite executing on some of your touches and getting caught out positionally. It's the consistency that I was expecting has more come from Salford's side in terms of how they want to approach the game. So it's been tough, and if you're Kit SC, you know that you don't have to change much. It's literally just you go in there, you tighten a few screws. It's not like you have to completely reimagine your game plan. You're just mis-executing on a few things, and it's costing you big time in some tight moments.
That's right. Every time we have you guys on camera,
pretzel?
I want you look at the camera, smile. Look at that. I hope that pretzel's great, man.
I hope so.
He says it's great. All right, perfect.
I'm glad it's good.
I might have to get one of those later. But you saw on the Salford side when the cameras were on them, they're all smiles over there. They're talking, they're joking, they're feeling really good. And why shouldn't you? You're in an elimination match, but you're the one in the driver's seat. You've put Kit SC on match point, and you've had the confidence, and now it's time to drill the nail into the wood. Kit SC going to try to force another Game 5 for themselves. It would be both of their series going Game 5 if that happens.
We've arrived, Jorby. It is
where?
Day 2. Well, this is an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah.
We've arrived at Elimination Station.
Ah, yes. Elimination Station. Classic. I still haven't decided if you get on the train when you're eliminated or if you just stay.
You're just at the station.
You're just at it.
You get on the train to leave once you get eliminated.
So it's like one of those permanent places where you just stay until the next tournament.
Exactly.
Got it. Kit SC actually get a free ball. A lot of hang time. It's over one defender, but I saw the rest of Kit SC had no confidence in that push, sitting beyond the midfield line. And it's that kind of positioning for Kit. I think that they might know that they're pushing a little too far forward. This one for Salford. That one in. Cood getting the first.
A massive dunk. Look at this. Jiggy gets the reset, has to recover quickly to actually block it into the box. The double commit from Kit SC is really what costs them there, because even if they don't double commit and that first challenge pops up into the air, the second person could go and get it, but the double commit plus the block is what allows Salford to come through and again open up the scoring. Pat's trying to get creative, open up some space with some demos. Loris Raptor's going to need some help here, and Tay just trying to cover some ground and figure out what Salford wants to do with the ball. And they actually end up giving away all the space. Oh, good job to cover the distance pads, but trying to figure out what Kit SC's game plan is at the moment.
Salford, this time it starts a little differently. They generate their own wealth with that first goal. There's a lot of speed here for Loris Raptor, trying to force the issue here in the midfield. Nice little half flip, but Pads, you got your teammate. Everything's okay. Loris Raptor back around the side wall and really developing here. Another pass in the same area that we saw earlier. Loris Raptor scored from, but taken away.
Oh, nice little poke out over into the midfield. Matei really trying to put the pressure on him, and that seems to be the approach. Kit SC say, okay, pace, let's go up 3 notches. And that is going to be a tough thing to manage in terms of communication. It needs to stay a lot tighter, more clear. You have to understand exactly what is happening, or you are going to find yourselves in some bad positions.
It might actually work in their favor, though, if there's less time for you to think if you're trying to play faster.
The instinctual.
Maybe you don't take yourself out of position as easily trying to figure out where exactly to put yourself. Kid has to be able to push the ball down. Those 50s just haven't really worked out in the neutral zone. 2 players on 0, Matej and Pads. They're
Whoa.
in a tough spot, that one off the post, and Matej gets there in time for the rebound.
Scary one from Matej. Was trying to figure out if he actually had the time to let it bounce. Made the right decision. Huge demo in the midfield, and Arton, hello, free ball. What do you do? Just try and keep possession for a second.
Wins the 50. Free flip around
my
the corner.
gosh.
That was good enough, but Pads had the back wall covered. Salford still got control, trying to control the midfield as well. Boost does swing in their favor again. They've got control in their own half. It's Jiggy, just kind of pops right over the defender in the air. And a nice little move by Matej, and he gets deleted for his effort. Pads has to respect the
Nice
clear
read.
attempt and gets the read, but couldn't put it on target.
Pads was so close. Could tell that play was headed up the wall. Wanted to spike it straight into the net. Unfortunately, the timing just a little off. Ball into the middle from Matej. Not a lot of boost, and he is being targeted. That's 2 times in a row now with the demos. This is by far and away the most frantic game we've seen in this series for both teams.
Salford looked really solid on offense as well, but another clear kit. They seem to be shoring up on defense as well. They gotta find a way to get more offense out. Loris Raptor had to body his way through, and now they're off the ball again. Pads got the read. Pads, can she get the ball across? She's gotta wait. Loris Raptor in the air early. He's got the read.
Oh, it came off so hard.
Still got it though. Shot from Matej. No, right in front of the box. Pads loses on the rebound.
Sideways.
Gave up possession. Loris Raptor on the rotation. Coming straight back. Kit only have 60 seconds left to get this going. Otherwise,
Help.
exclamation point, help.
That's where they're at right now. They're close. They're in the right spots, but their cars are positioned awkwardly straight towards the middle of the goal. Pads with a nice save, but Salford probably has this one on lock. Doesn't feel like Kit SC is executing in the way necessary to even get the ball out of their own half at the moment.
Still, it could only take one mishap from Salford to give him a clear down the field. Matej, just no boost. Every time he's behind the ball, he's starved, and he just limits his ability to do those things with the ball.
Okay.
He had a break. Another clear for Kit. Is starting to swing a little bit of Chiefs with 20 seconds left. Kit in the corner. Here they come in front. Matej has to protect this because Loris Raptor was also playing it close. Gets deleted. Now in the corner. They know it. Salford just has to waste the time, and the shot wide. An attempted pass out. 10 seconds remaining now.
Okay.
Matej flips it around 1. Only 40 in the tank. Diving forward on the 50 around the corner. Coming forward is Salford. Hanging on by a thread. Loris Raptor shot denied. Salford take down Kid FC. Move on in the tournament.
What a show from Salford. Close that one out. Had to stretch themselves a little thin in that game, but consistently giving themselves opportunities to reset positionally. The demos in the midfield on Matej, opening up a lot of extra space for them to operate, or at least know that there's no threat from that side of the pitch, so that you don't have to panic in that regard. And unfortunately, some of those early misplays from Kid SC come back to bite them here in the final game, where they just didn't have enough in the tank to execute on offense, and a well-deserved win for Salford.
Do agree, big agree. I mean, game 1, it was looking like it would be rough for Salford. They didn't get good control of the ball.
Yeah.
They weren't able to really generate any offense. But then after that, it's like, yes, while the Kit mistakes definitely enabled their ability on the offensive half of the field, by those last 2 games, it was all Salford. And they generated their own opportunities. That reset dunk from
Huge
Jiggy,
block.
a big one. And it just kept happening for this team. They got more and more confident as the series went on, and the smiles never dropped from their faces until the end of the series.
Yeah, and still kept that proactive defense up throughout the entirety of the series after the end of game 1. We're understanding quite nicely where Kid SC was trying to move the ball to get it into the box, executing on some of their double tap opportunities as well, because if they miss those, then they're going to be in a bit of a tough spot. But avoiding OTs altogether. In general, after game 1, it felt like Salford all the way through. Kid SC just lacking that a little bit of consistency. I thought they would have the effectiveness as well to move the ball around on the offensive side. A little bit lackluster compared to yesterday, but unfortunately that's the way she goes sometimes, Jorby.
Yeah, absolutely. Kit, I mean, no one really expected them to be here or to qualify in the first place, so a respectable finish for Kit SC regardless of the result. Ty Lacto, though, with Salford for the victory interview.
Thank you, Jorby. I am joined here by Cood of the Salford Lions following that dub. I mean, tell me how that feels. A main stage dub here at the CRL World Championship.
It feels good, honestly. Like, we had a bad, day 1. All of EU had a bad day 1. Maybe not like Kiel as much, but it was rough. It was rough yesterday. So it's nice to get like a win, like at least on stage as well.
Yeah, Yeah, let's not talk about yesterday in EU. Let's talk about that game 3, because I was watching it behind stage. I don't know how you kept Kid out. Some of that defense, how do you keep up the comms and the calmness under pressure like that?
So basically, like in the last chance qualifier, we like had some sort of way of playing where like we just come like everything. But we noticed that the comms that we was doing made like no sense. It was just making us panic. So basically, what we did was like actually in the scrims against Portsmouth, we just decided like, wait, let's just chill, like let's have good comms at least, like normal chilled comms, and important comms as well. And like after that, like it was just calm the whole series. Yeah.
Calm under pressure. This man, the performance, I watched it, that was strong. But you were very strong with your opinions and confidence back when we talked in Salford. You said it was going to be an all-EU final and we were going to wipe NA. You still as confident?
Like...
No, he's not.
It's a bit like rough, you know, but it's still possible for like an all-EU final. So like, I trust like everyone in the EU now, like to actually clutch up now. So.
Well, of course, your next matchup will be against Canada's St. Clair Saints. We'll see that later today on this very stage. How are you feeling about that matchup, and have you got any words for them?
I mean, I'm just like, it's just gonna be like the same as like last time. It's just gonna be like, you know, easy. So.
It's gonna be easy. Well, I look forward to seeing it, that's for sure. After the break, our next series coming up will be an EU versus NA matchup. It's Portsmouth against UNLV. You're not gonna wanna go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.